Hello, gonna do a quick summary on training and development. Why do we have to do training? Why do you think organizations would like to train their staff? The overall objective of any company that trains their staff is because they are trying to achieve a good well-being. So overall, it's for the well-being of the organization, which means the organization wants to succeed. And later on, I will look into detailed benefits of training. And usually, some organizations don't agree. So generally speaking, there are two views about training. Some organization believes that it's beneficial, while some organization believe that it's costly, it's very expensive. So those organizations that believes that this is costly, they won't want to train their people. However, those organizations that believe that it's beneficial, those organizations are called the learning organization because they have accepted training as a way of making progress, as a way of achieving success. And you are expected to understand or know the characteristics of a learning organization. Remember, a learning organization is that organization who has accepted training as a way of making progress, and they have unique characteristics. The first one is they value their staff. They have training policy. Likewise, they accept error, so they allow their people to make errors. So their staff are not afraid to make mistakes. They accept errors because they believe that while you make errors, you are also learning a way of not doing something or a way of not achieving a result. So it's part of learning. Error is part of learning. And they are flexible. They are able to change. So they are flexible and adaptable. So if the environment changes, they are ready to change as well. So they are adaptable. Likewise, they promote open communication. And what does this mean? It means that their staff are able to share their views without fear. And likewise, they share resources. So if I know about where you can get information, I can share with my colleagues. So those are the characteristics of learning organization. But what are the benefits of learning? Like I said in my introduction, some organizations believe that it is beneficial, while some organizations believe that it is not beneficial. It's just costly. But we are looking at organizations that believe that training is beneficial. That is the focus of our study in this video. So what are the benefits? So the benefits is in two dimensions. Benefit of learning, individuals, the staff themselves, they get some personal benefit from training, and likewise, organization as well will benefit from training. So training is good for both the individuals and the organization. And for organizations, what are the benefits? The organization will achieve high productivity, which means outputs will be more because staff are doing more. Likewise, there will be more efficiency, which means that with increased output, input is even lower. Staff in those organizations will not be resigning so frequently, so there will be low staff turnover because the staff are happy. And likewise, there will be very low safety accident because they've been trained. They know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. So less of accident, and such organization will be adaptable to change because they have staff that are learning with the changing environment. However, to staff, what are those benefits? The first thing is it improves the self-esteem of those staff. You see, even amongst their friends who are working for other organizations, they will boast about their company, sending them for training overseas, sending them for training in prestigious places. And because of that as well, they are very motivated. Yeah, staff are motivated, and also they have transferable skills. So if I work in PricewaterhouseCoopers and I've been trained by PricewaterhouseCoopers, I can leave PricewaterhouseCoopers and go and work in a bank as a financial reporting accountant, as a financial advisor, or whatever. So staff will also benefit from that transferable skills, and because of that, they are also adaptable to changes. So these are benefits to both staff and the organization. Very important. Remember the topic we're looking at: training and development. Are they the same? No. Training is not the same thing as development. It's not the same. So which means you need to understand the difference between training and development. And that is what I'm just going to touch on quickly. Training, development. Let's look at it from the objective perspective. The objective of training is to enable a staff do their job well. So it's to do job well. Whereas the objective of development is to grow leadership capability. So it's about you seeing a potential of being a leader in someone and working on that person to become that leader in reality. Timing as well. When you're talking of training, it's about the present so that the guy can do the job today, presently. Whereas when you are developing someone, it's for the future. You are building the person's capacity ahead of the future so that the person can lead in the future. And what kind of skills do they focus on? Training focuses on technical skills, whereas development focuses on soft skills. Very important to note those three key differences. Now let's look at each of them, starting from training. And we'll start with the training process. There are 5 key steps to training. The process. So you have step 1. What do you need to do? You need to perform why the person needs to. It's called perform need analysis. And what are you doing here? You want to check if a particular staff need training. And how is this done? This can also be called gap analysis. So it's about saying, okay, this is the desired level I want this guy to be. Say desired level is level 8. But you now ask yourself, what is the actual? The actual is probably, say, level 5. Then there is a gap. So there is a gap. So this is a gap. So which means you need to do something to bring this guy to the desired level for him to be able to do the job very well. Because you believe that to do the job very well, you need to be at level 8. However, the guy is on level 5. So which means there is a gap of 3. So you need to make sure that you bring that guy to level 8 by training him. So by identifying the desired level and the actual level and comparing the two, what you are trying to do is called the need analysis. So that's the training need analysis. And once that is done and you have identified that there is a training need, then you can progress to step 2. And step 2 is about setting the objective of the training. So you set objectives. In this case, you are saying, what do you need to achieve at the end of the training? What will success look like? In step 1, you've discovered that this guy should be able to prepare financial statement, but he's not able to prepare all the financial statement elements. He can only prepare P or L. He doesn't know how to prepare statement of financial position. He doesn't know how to prepare statement of cash flow. So that's a gap. Then you come to objective and you say the objective is you must learn how to prepare P or L and statement of financial position and statement of cash flow, all the elements of financial statement, and even consolidated financial statement. So now you have set the objectives. Then once you have set the objective, you are clear on what you want to achieve, then you move to step 3, which is plan the training. You plan the training. And when you are planning the training, it's about how will the training be delivered. It's about how. It's about what you want to achieve. And you are asking yourself, why should I train you? Right? So how do we want to achieve the training? Usually, to deliver the training, there are 2 ways you can deliver the training. There are 2 types. The first type is that you use the on the job, or you use off the job. On the job means that you are not leaving your office. You are not leaving your job. You are learning while you are doing the job. While off the job means you are leaving that job. You are not doing the job. And I can give you some examples of each of this type. Yeah. For on the job, an example is boarding. When you have a body, a body is just like your peer, or even this happens usually on more junior level, when you have a junior staff supporting another more junior staff, trying to make life easier. Maybe the more junior staff just joined the company and you want to assign that more junior staff to someone he can really relate with, not someone that is super senior and the guy is not able to relate properly. Yeah, so that's boarding, and that's on the job because they are going to be working together and be learning together. And mentoring is also on the job, but this one involves a junior person and a much more senior person, while this person is teaching and helping that person on a longer term on how to get better and how to progress their career and all of that. You also have coaching. Coaching is on the job. Here is more of technical skills, usually short term. Also, it's about supervisor or a senior person helping a junior person. There's also what we call the job shadowing. Job shadowing means that the person learning is watching another person doing it. So if you want to learn how to prepare financial statement on the job, then you will sit with the reporting accountant who is preparing the financial statement. So as he's preparing it, that is debiting, crediting, moving figures around, you are watching him as he's doing it and you're asking questions. So the job is going on and you are learning. Likewise, it can be job rotation. Yeah, if you've been identified to learn how to prepare financial statement and you are in account receivable department, you can be moved to financial reporting department so that you can learn how to prepare financial statement. So that's the job rotation, when you are moving from one job to another, so you can learn. You can also have secondment. So secondment, you have still not left the organization. You are still within the organization, but you have been moved to another function or another organization where you can learn while doing the job. So it does not necessarily mean that you are staying in your own company. You can go to another company, but the most important thing is you are learning while doing the job. You have not left the job that you're supposed to learn from. So those are examples of on-the-job training. You can also have off the job, usually outside the job. So the job is not close by, you are not doing the job. You are either learning from computer, so computer training, we will call computer-based training, CBT. That's off the job. You can be in the classroom training. That's off the job. You are not doing the job. It can be role play. Role play usually can also happen in the classroom. It's not on the job. You can also go for seminars. Yeah, that's not off the job. Or you can also go for workshop. So all of these are example of the job, and this is on the job, the green one. Yeah. So those are various ways of delivering the training. So you need to choose when you are planning the training. Is it supposed to be learned on the job or off the job? Then you decide. Once you have decided how the training will be delivered, then you can move to step 4, which is now to deliver the training. Step 4. Deliver the training. And this is when the staff can go to the classroom where he's going to learn, or go and meet the person who's going to boarding or mentor or coach, wherever he's going to get his training. He gets the knowledge and experience that he needs in step 4. And once he has completed his training, then he can move to step 5, which is about evaluating the training. So you evaluate the training outcome. And in this case, you'll be comparing your plan versus outcome and see whether the guy has learned and now can deliver on at the desired level. This level 8 that we talked about. If you cannot deliver at that level, then that means your training has not achieved what you're supposed to achieve. Then you might need to send for another training. That's about training. Development, I've spoken about the difference between both of them. So, but for development, you need to learn that there are 4 types. 4 types. And they are grouped by the focus of each type of development. So you have career development. Let me write it clearer. So number 1, there's career development. And I'll put their focus in front of them so you can get the summary quickly. That focuses on career progression. Yeah, so maybe someone used to be an associate, is going to become a senior associate, become a manager, a senior manager, a director. All those activities that you embark on to make that person ready for the next level is career progression. And that's the career development. Another type is management development. Yeah, management development is tailored only for managers. So this is for managers improvement. Yeah, when you send people on training or on any exposure to ensure that they are able to learn how to become a better manager. Maybe the guy doesn't listen very well, and as a manager, you need to have a good listening skill. Then you send him a training on how to be able to listen effectively and become a better manager. You are making him to be able to deliver his role as a manager better. So that's the management development. There's also professional development. Professional development is just the trainings or those exposures you get to improve your professional competence. So take for instance, if your profession is accounting, yeah, and you have decided to write ACCA, that's a professional development. Because it's not that you are not an accountant before ACCA. You could have gone to school to get a bachelor and all of that. But you want to improve on that profession. So you decide to go for professional exams so that you can have better professional competence. So the last one is personal development. And this one, as the word says, personal. This is just about individual goals. Yeah, this is about individual. It's not professional. It can be anything. Whatever you want to do is personal. It's individualized. Yeah, it might be as a person you want to be able to help your community. You want to be able to do anything for some people. You want to have a non-governmental organization or non-profit organization. That's personal to you. Or you want to mentor people. That is your personal goal. Yeah, so, and that is personal development. And lastly, I haven't spoken about that we also need to learn that people learn in different ways. So, which means while we are trying to help people to become what we want them to become at that level, we need to also understand that learning styles vary. The way I would like to learn might be different from the way you like to learn. So, if I use my style for you, it might not work. Or if you use my style, your style for myself, it might not work. So, the question is, we're talking about how do people like to acquire knowledge? There are several ways, and it differs. Please take note, it differs. And to look at this learning style, there are two guys who we must talk about them. The first person is Kolb. So gradually, I'll start introducing you to these names, and at the end of the paper BT videos, I'm going to do a summary of all the names and their focus, because these are highly examinable. Yeah. So now I'm introducing the first set of guys to you, Kolb. Then the other set of guys that spoke about learning, training, and development is Oni and Mumford. Kolb and Oni and Mumford. Yeah. And what did they talk about? Kolb spoke about two things. It touches on stages of learning. He believes that learning is not just one stage. There are stages to learning. And also, he now touched on types of learner. And this other second guy as well, they focused solely on types of learner. So before I touched on types of learner, let's talk about the stages that Kolb spoke about. So Kolb believed that learning happens in stages, and the first stage is you have an experience of embarrassment. So this is your first embarrassment. When you discover that you have not performed well, you have not done what you are supposed to do. The second stage is observation or reflection. I'll come to explain that. The third stage is the abstract conceptualization. And the last stage is the actual, or what you call the active experimentation. And how does this work? So remember, your first stage is your first embarrassment, as I put it. I want to put it like that so you can understand it. That is the first thing that happened when you feel embarrassed that you couldn't prepare financial statement. And so that's your experience. You prepared it, but it was wrong. So your manager was mad at you, lashed on you, and you didn't like it. Then you go to reflect. Yeah? You start to analyze the experience. You're asking, what did you not do well? Why did you do that? How did he insult you? How did he embarrass you? How can you not be able to prepare a correct financial statement after you have graduated and have a bachelor? You are reflecting and thinking. Then the next, after that stage, you go into the abstract conceptualization. And what are you doing here? You're asking yourself, what would be the solution? Should I go and learn it somewhere? The fact is here, you are designing a solution. So you're asking yourself, what should I do better next time? So you design the solution here. Then you move to active experimentation, which is where you test your solution. So you test the proposed solution here in the real world. Yeah. So that's what you are doing in active experimentation. And by the time you test the proposed solution, if it works, then that is fine. Then you've learned. If it doesn't work, then that will be another embarrassment for you, unfortunately. So you have another experience, and you go like that again, and like that again, and like that again until you are fine. So there is no time frame to any of these 4 stages. It can be short, another one might be long, another one might be microseconds, and like that, right? Depends on individuals and their style of reflecting or going to solution mode. Some people might spend so much time here, short time here, or whatever. So it varies. Now let's look at the learning styles. The way I'm going to summarize the learning styles will be quite easy for you, because these two guys, both Kolb and Mumford, they're actually saying the same thing in different ways. So they've identified different types of learner. However, the explanations are the same. Yeah, but they give them different names. Yeah. So I'm going to put Kolb here. Kolb learner type. So Kolb identify different types of learner, which is similar to what Onin and Mumford also identified. But you should know the pair, yeah, the learner type. And I'll put the meaning here, yeah, which means how do they learn? Which is what you must know, yeah, which means learning, they learn by doing what? That's what I'll put here. So to make it easy for you, you can use acronym, TRAP. You can use for Onia and Mumford, I'll use TRAP so that you can remember TRAP. And for Kolb learner type, I will use ADAC, because you need to know all of these, they go for each other. So A stands for Kolb, A stands for assimilating. So that's a type of learner, assimilating learner. And who are assimilating learner? They are the people that learn by reading. And Onia and Mumford also identified those group of learner, but they didn't call them assimilating learner. They call them theorists. So which means, so assimilating learner is the same thing as theorist learner. D stands for diverging learner by Kolb. And how do they learn? Diverging learner, they learn by watching. The way to remember this is diverging, for people that have done physics or science. You know, when you talk about divergence means you're not inside it, separated. Yeah, it's open. You're not in it. So you can say, okay, you are watching, it's not inside it, it's not doing it. Right? But Onia Mumford called these people different name, and that is people that they refer to as reflectors. The third one is accommodating. Accommodating. How do accommodating people learn? They learn by using their instinct. So these are instinct learner. They take decision quickly. They don't waste time. They take risk. They don't just care. They just want to move on. Yeah. And these are the people that Onia Mumford has called the activist. Yeah, you can use AC, act, so that I don't confuse assimilating and theorist. So once on the act, yeah. So yeah, that can help you to not make mistake. And the last C is the converging people, converging learners. Convergence means you converge in the middle, you come inside, you are part of it. So that's the way you can remember it. But what is important for you to know is that they learn by doing. So those are the ones that want to be involved. They can only learn by practicing, by doing it. By doing it themselves, they make mistake, they learn from the mistake, that's how they learn. And there are the people only called the pragmatic people. So those are the 4 different types of learner, depending on who you are looking at, by Kolb and also by Oni and Mumford.